Happy Monday afternoon. Trying to get some more casts in this week. So as none of the live ones fit in my schedule, we'll figure we'll grab one of the replays that were requested to cast. So we got Division C West, Cloud and Mines versus Team Mapitas. I did not want any spoilers, so I went and manually looked up records going into last week, and that was Cloud and Mines. 1 win, 2 draws, and a loss at 5 points. Excuse me, Team Mapitas right on their heels, 3 points with 3 draws and a loss. So we'll go ahead, and one of the nice things about casting a replay here is don't need to wait for players to get in a lobby. We can really just jump right in. So let's go ahead and do that. Game 1 will be on Infernal Shrines. The one of the Team Mapitas players has the BNet player moniker, so I'm actually not sure who that is. But we'll roll with him, calling him BNet player. Weenus, always keeping it classy. Blue team, Clouded Mines. We have Tigerfish on Phoenix, Weenus on Rhaegar, the Great Hari on Arthas, Star Knight on ETC, and Swing on Nazebo. Red team, that is Team Mapitas. Our anonymous BNet player is on... Who are they on? I cannot tell. I guess we'll cheat. On Diablo. Nima on Gul'dan. Mac? I'm going to say Mac. On Lucio. Halamon on Varian. And T. Mariu on Ragnaros. So, obviously I didn't get a chance to watch the drafts or the ban phase or anywhere like that, so we'll start this in addition to our ETC may be in trouble but has his power slide up. Have our little 5-on-5 brouhaha here in the mid lane. Much to do about nothing. Triple melee frontline here for Team Mapitas. More of a traditional 2 frontline, 2 backline solo support comp on the side of Clouded Mines here. I don't really favor either one of these comps. Although, with the Arthas and a Phoenix, you could, especially with Arthas functioning as an off-tank, you can easily go... Absolutely, I can lower the game volume a little bit. Let's do that very quickly. Oh, you know what? Actually, there's a better way to do that. Let's do this. There we go. Let me know if that works better for you. As I started to say, as ETC power slides away, if you run Arthas and Phoenix, you can do the Summon Sindragosa and Precision, or Purifier Salvo combo. The Purifier Salvo, speaking of Arthas, might be in trouble here. There's the charge, the flip, the drain in. He's going to walk away a little bruised. The Purification Salvo gets extra damage against slow targets. If you combine that with the Summon Sindragosa, you can get a lot of good damage. ETC, I don't think is getting out of this one. Power Slider, no. Caught by the rotation of the Diablo. First Blood going to Team Mapitas. So Team Mapitas using this Gul'dan to really enable a strong 4-man here in the top. Whereas Clouded Mines was going more of a typical, well, not typical, but more of a static laning situation. Great body blocking out of Anonymous on Diablo and Mac on Lucio, escaping with less than 100 hit points. First altar pops on the top. I am curious to see if Clouded Mines does go the Sindragosa Purification Salvo, because you can get a lot of damage by ensuring that Purification Salvo always hits slowed targets. It's slowed targets. I believe it's 50% bonus damage. So that is a a lot of damage added to a fairly high damage heroic already. However, from Team Mapitas, once Varian hits 4, assuming he goes taunt, and he did, wow, an aggressive invade, holy moly, and they're going to get away with it. Clouded Mines, a super aggressive bruiser invade, and they get away with it to boot. Team Mapitas literally just rotated right on by them and didn't even think to check. I wouldn't have either. That's definitely not something you see. So both teams now here at the objective, about a 1-level lead for Team Mapitas, courtesy of the 2 unanswered kills. Now this is a 5-on-4 that Mapitas is taking, as Ragnaros is busy clearing the Merc camps. He has done so, now is joining his team. Both sides at 7 Shrine Guardians. Phoenix is taunted, he might be in trouble. Varian is a nice hard counter to Phoenix, and a nice triple root out of Arthas to peel for Phoenix as he teleports away. Nazebo, though, not so lucky. So a 3rd unanswered kill for Team Mapitas. However, Gul'dan might be in trouble with Phoenix on him. The taunt to peel, and it's actually Phoenix that's in trouble. Venus low, he is running away, and this is going to spell the end of the hopes for Clouded Mines to secure this first objective. And what hurts even more is this entire time this objective fight is going on, Team Mapitas has Merc Camp pushing in the bottom lane. A triple power slide out of the ETC, however, no follow-up there. He does get charged and flipped for his troubles. So first objective will go over to Team Mapitas. They have secured about a 1-level lead. And Nazebo is in the bottom lane for Clouded Mines to clean up the Mercs. He has done so now. 3 members of Clouded Mines here in the top lane to try to defend John Cena. I really want to see ETC catch this Punisher. That is not the hero you want to do that. Phoenix is in trouble. He does teleport away, leaving Star Knight on ETC out on an island. Down below 100 hit points, finally falling to the poison damage on Gul'dan. So currently 5 unanswered kills, all Team Mapitas early. Normally early game Punishers are fairly weak, but this thing took down the top fort, and it's still about half life. It's going to start doing a little bit of tower damage to the keep wall. Nazebo in the meantime was AFK soaking bottom, trying to keep his team even in XP. About a level and a half down though, so Clouded Mines is really going to be behind the 8 ball once the second objective rolls around. Pushing in the mid is Team Mapitas. A triple stun into a zombie wall. That could be dangerous. Lucio pretty low. Team Mapitas walks away, however. So 5 kills to none. Heroics have been picked up for Team Mapitas, and we are going to have Sound Barrier, Horrify, Apoc, Sulfurous Smash, and Varian, of course, already has Taunt. I assume... Ooh, Diablo might be in trouble. He probably has full souls, though, so he's pretty durable. It takes a lot to blow a Diablo up. I assume... Oh, no, he did go Shield Wall. I was going to say not a lot of burst damage out of the side of Clouded Mines. I would have maybe considered the extra mobility and the double parry for Phoenix. There is a Horrify and a Taunt catching out Phoenix, and the APOC follow-up. Diablo really isolating out the ETC. Star Knight not going to be able to get out alive. It's very, very difficult, and now Nazebo may be in trouble. Uses the zombies to kind of peel for himself. It's really difficult to fight into an opponent's team without your heroics. Clouded Mines definitely got caught too far forward, and Team Mapitas really taking advantage. So they are controlling the map. They are a over 2-level lead for Team Mapitas, and they have literally just rotated from lane to lane, laying siege to everything in their sight. I do believe, luckily for Clouded Mines, that when this next objectives pop, they will be on 10, level 10, and I don't think Team Mapitas will be quite level 13 yet, so that will be their chance to take a fairly equal fight on the objective. Both teams having their heroics, both teams on the same talent tier. And I also believe Team Mapitas will have all of their heroics up. So for the side of Clouded Mines, we have Stage Dive on ETC, not the Mosh Pit, with the easy APOC interrupt. That makes sense. Also, Mosh Pit does make him a sitting duck for Sulfurous Smash. So Stage Dive, Ancestral Healing, I believe that's Gargantuan on Nazebo, and it is Purifier Beam? Or not Purifier Beam, but yeah, Purification Salvo and Army of the Dead. So they opted to go the more traditional Army of the Dead rather than the Syndragosa. I think both were perfectly fine. I just kind of would have guiltily liked to have seen the Syndragosa into the Purification Salvo. Horrify completely isolates out Arthas, who then gets taunted. The Stage Dive is too far back, unable to get to Arthas quite yet. APOC hits all 5 members. Arthas goes down, but they trade out for a Gul'dan. So that looked really bad. Really bad for Clouded Mines. With the Stage Dive not quite getting as much real estate as he wanted, but they're able to trade out. However, Sulfurous Smash still up, and with the taunt Sulfurous Smash, they can definitely get onto pretty much everybody. Tigerfish forced to teleport away from this 4-on-4. And now Team Mapitas moving forward with the talent tier advantage, taking control of the shrines. Looks like Clouded Mines is going to be content to let this one go, and second objective straight going toward Team Mapitas. This is kind of a questionable engage by Clouded Mines. They're already a talent tier down. 34 Shrine Guardians all captured, and Sulfurous Smash rains down from the heavens and confirms the kill on the Nazebo. I think I would have liked, instead of the contest there, especially as they were already at 33, split up, soak as much as you can, and then regroup for this Punisher. This fort is done. You cannot defend back here. That was a nice attempt to peel, but Tigerfish is taken down one more time, and Star Knight almost certainly going to follow his teammates' footsteps. Maybe, yeah, with the Lucio there, most certainly. Quadruple Power Slide trying to get, or I'm sorry, yeah, Quadruple Power Slide tried to get away, but down he goes. Yeah, this fort was certainly gone. I think the wiser course of action would have been to try to defend it here at the keep behind the wall. They pay for it with 2 members down for Clouded Mines, and things not looking good. 11 kills to only 1, and a 3-level deficit. That is huge, very difficult to come back from. Nazebo is caught out. He is able to use some zombie walls, get out of the APOC. His teammate's not so lucky, fighting under Molten Core. There goes the Purification Salvo, does confirm the kill onto Lucio. And now it's Team Mapitas is running, and they are all so low. Gul'dan's poison kills 3 members on the backside. So that initially looked so good for Clouded Mines. However, that poison damage ticking over time kind of took out 3 members after the fight was already over. Great timing by Timeru on Ragnaros with that Molten Core. If you're able to get the other team to fight under it, you can really do some damage, and he did. He hit 4 with the stun on the swing, and if he wasn't in Molten Core there, I really think that battle would have gone pretty poorly for Team Mapitas. However, the Molten Core combined with the Gul'dan damage over time turned what looked bad into actually a 3-2 win in favor of Mapitas. So still 3 levels up, and they have been controlling this map and all the mercs pretty much from minute 1 of this game. However, Lucio is top, away from his team. This might be something that Clouded Mines can do. The Horrify, because Gul'dan is in a terrible position, isolated from his teammates. stage dive. I wasn't quite sure where that was going. Purifier Salvo doesn't quite take out anybody, and Gul'dan manages to escape off the back side. I thought for sure Nima on the Gul'dan was going to get caught out. He was completely isolated from his team. Unable to confirm the kill, though. And although they are going to get bottom fort, Mercs down here still pushing for Team Mapitas. I think they got to clean this up. So tough decisions here for Clouded Minds. They either opt to contest this objective down 3 levels and a full talent tier, or they opt to give it up and try to soak for 16, and then you try to take the fight at about the 16-19 mark before Team Mapitas gets to 20. That's going to be their next and only chance to take an even talent tier team fight before Mapitas gets to 20 here. And it looks like that's what they're doing. I actually really like that call, opting to lay siege to the mid fort instead of contesting. Mapitas is sending Varian down and the rest of the team. So Rag is going to stay on the objective top. 4 members of Team Mapitas, they are rotating, they are in flank position. And here comes a 5-on-4. There's the APOC, Horrify, and the shield. However, this is a 5-on-4. There's a stage dive that gets some value. Hits 3. Star Knight finally landing the top rope. He does go down to the damage over time. Nima and the poison damage is absolutely wrecking. So Arthas and ETC the first to go down. Gul'dan and Lucio going down for Team Mapitas. I don't know if I like the taking of the 5-on-4. Even up a talent tier. If I am Team Mapitas, I think I concede that mid fort and I march up here with these mercs. You start going right at this keep. You can trade out mid fort for top keep. That would have been a lot of value for Mapitas. You would have forced them to either, them being Clouded Minds, either give up their siege of mid and respond to the top, or fight down the talent tier, which is what you want. It's a win-win for you. Oh, that is unfortunate. John Cena able to land the finisher on Nazebo. Opting to let John Cena go after this keep on his own. So they will be able to burn it down without losing the keep. Mapitas, in the meantime, taking complete control of the mercs again. All of the mercs have not been mercenaries. They've basically been Team Mapitas full-time employees this whole game. Been very one-sided in which team is capturing the mercs. Opportunity here for Clouded Minds, and actually, all things considered, that's about as well as that could have gone. They were down 3 levels in a talent tier before that objective. They lost the objective, but managed to preserve their keep and come out of it same talent tier. So that's what you want. That was the goal. So mission accomplished in that objective for Clouded Minds. Bush party here. I would prefer to see them soak for 20 here. This is the fight that that Clouded Minds wants, but maybe the element of surprise. Maybe Clouded Minds figure they're somewhere else on the map. However, great patience here. There they go. Horrified, taunted, flipped. Arthas had a long time, but the Ancestral catches him, and he is up. The party did not go well for Team Mapitas, despite isolating out Arthas for a really long time. Great Ancestral by Venus. Now we are fighting under Molten Core one more time. However, Team Mapitas is so low, they are running for their lives. Diablo is able to get away. Ragnaros won't. So is the comeback started? That's the first very convincing team fight win for Clouded Minds. So we have to see if it's going to be enough. Both sides have all of their keeps up. None of the forts for Clouded Minds are up. Only top lane standing for Team Mapitas. And they have begun their top lane bruisers. This I see Team Mapitas here, Team Mapitas, pinging this bottom fort, and that's a great call. This fort is free. The last, I was mistaken. They Clouded Mines had one fort left, and now they have no forts left. So 23 seconds left for Clouded Mines if they want to get their 20s, and a very aggressive, I mean very aggressive, down a talent tier, invade of the Bruisers. Team Mapitas has sniffed it out. This is a terrible place to fight if APOC is up, and it is up in 1 second. It is up. Clouded Mines is wisely retreating. However, are they party bushing? You need to let Tigerfish through, guys. Let them through if you're going to bush. And they decide simply to start the objective. So discretion, sometimes the better part of valor. I really like the call of Clouded Mines to, once they were sniffed out, just to give it up. That was really well played. I think they would have been caught in a really difficult situation there with the Horrify and the APOC in such tight quarters. Would have been really tough for them. And Clouded Mines showing some patience. They're clearing the lanes. They trying to get to 20 before they really bite on the objective. Oh, nice. Venus could have been caught in a really tough spot there. Nice job by him to rotate out. However, Nazebo is caught in a tough place. He does ice block. ETC trying to come save him. 3-man power slide and face melt, probably gets swing out alive. Venus, though, after just avoiding a terrible situation, runs right into another one. So Star Knight is able to get swing out. Venus on Rhaegar, not so lucky. And that is going to be a big 55-second respawn timer before Rhaegar comes back. So no support for about another 45 seconds for Clouded Mines. And there's also no wall to bait this between. So I'd like to see ETC or Arthas try to bait it somewhere up between these two keeps so it tanks both keeps. A little farther back would have been great, because now Great Hari on Arthas is in trouble. With no support, he goes down. Excellent follow-up, letting John Cena initiate for them. Team Mapitas, they are smelling blood in the water, and they have to be thinking core. Mid-keep falls. John Cena jumps right onto Phoenix. No way he is getting away. Molten Core has been popped. Sulfurous Smash catches Star Knight on ETC mid-power slide. He is not getting away. Rhaegar is feared right in the middle of the enemy team. John Cena showing absolutely no mercy. 4 down to 20%. Game 1 decisively going to the side of Team Mapitas. 20 kills to, I believe it was 7 or so. So a really solid, commanding win for Team Mapitas in Game 1. Let's go ahead and go to Game 2. I was going to show the stats, but there's, you know what, we can do it this way. We'll just back up, because we have it on replay. Back up like 15 seconds, and we can get the stats screen. There we go. So 20 kills to 7. And Gul'dan damage showed big time in a couple of those fights. One team fight mid in particular, he got a triple kill with the dot, just ticking down the members of Clouded Mines. So replay cast is a little unusual, because normally I like to talk about the response in the draft, but of course we don't get to see those things. We don't get to see if there were any target bans or response bans. Instead, we get to go straight to Game 2, which will be on Volskaya Foundry, a map that in a lot of ways plays very similar to Infernal Shrines. It's a 3-lane map. It's an objective that you have to fight over a fair amount of time. It's not a fast objective. It is definitely drawn out. Volskaya probably I apologize for the occasional coughing. I'm just getting on the backside of a cold here. Volskaya Foundry probably takes even longer than the Infernal Shrines objectives for the most part. So let's see, very different comps, both sides here. We have the Great Hari on Anubarak. Anubarak used to be king of the tank meta, but he has fallen out. You don't see too much of him. He does pop up occasionally kind of as a niche pick. But Anubarak Johanna on the front line, the Great Hari on Anubarak, Star Knight on Johanna. Tigerfish back on Phoenix, had a little bit of a rough game. Last game with a Varian and a Diablo diving on him can be very difficult to play into that as Phoenix. Swing will be on the Chromie and Venus, moving from Rhaegar to Lucio. For the side of Team Mapitas, we have Anonymous, BNet player on ETC, Mac on Stukov, Nima on Tyrael, Timeriu back on Ragnaros, and in the bottom lane, Halamion on Greymane. So no 5-on-5 skirmish mid lane for the side of Team Mapitas. They sent everybody straight to lane, so Greymane currently soloing bottom as Mac eats a full Chromie combo. Rag against Phoenix in the top lane. Typically on Volskaya, you do see the solo in the bottom and the 4-man rotating from mid to top. The lanes are close enough that a 4-man can do that easily enough. However, it looks like both sides will instead simply run a 1-3-1. In the top, I don't think I've ever seen a Rag Phoenix. I think Phoenix probably will solely win this because of the shields and the higher damage. And Tigerfish currently has definitely pushed Rag back. Some more skirmishing going on in the mid. I don't think much is going to come out of this. Actually, Mac caught out a little bit by Tigerfish. Nima coming up to provide some support and some peels. We're going to go check in on this bottom lane matchup now. Looks like Greymane is winning this. Yeah, Anubarak, although probably shouldn't die down here, he will absolutely get shredded by Greymane and will have a really hard time into this matchup. About the only thing Anubarak can do is basically safely soak the lane. He's not going to be able to get much done on the Greymane unless Halamion makes a mistake. So Great Hari just wants to soak, stay safe. Skirmishing continuing around the map still, both sides kind of biding time until the first objective spawns. Phoenix did come on down to reinforce the Great Hari, and they got Halamion really low. Forced him to retreat behind his own wall and tap, while Lucio was sent to deal with Rag in the top lane. That is definitely not a matchup that you see too much. Lucio's soloing against Rag. I really like that adjustment by Clouded Minds. They recognized that Anubarak was really having a hard time in that bottom lane, and they sent Phoenix down there. Phoenix is going to fare much better into Greymane, probably wins the lane. Because of his shields, he can trade damage with Greymane and then retreat while his shields proc. Greymane has no such... Woo! Sorry about that, mouse slipped there. Greymane has no such method to recover any lost hit points while trading. So that was a really nice adjustment for Clouded Minds to send Phoenix to take on Greymane in the bottom lane. Both sides have captured their turret camp. Clouded Minds, however, showing much more prioritization towards Mercs than in the first game, actually captured their bruisers, and Anubarak is going to stay up in that top lane to get some pressure. As a result, they're slightly late to the objective. Four members of Clouded Minds are here. They have put their turret down, and they are zoning out. I'd like to see the turret a little far forward so it can go all the way to the edge. That way you can completely zone them out. Now both sides have Mercs going in the top lane. Big Dragon's Breath out of Swing on the Chromie there. Creating a nice zone, Anubarak and Phoenix are. Team Mapitas seems like they're not too interested in contesting this. You do have a lot of time on these objectives, as I mentioned. Maybe they were waiting for 7 to give them talent tier advantage, and that looks like that was the case. All members of Team Mapitas are rotating toward the objective, and we're going to have our first real 5-on-5 engagement. So Johanna really going in there, getting a lot of value with the condemn. A lot of this game is going to go down to Chromie is caught out and she goes down. Ragnaros confirming the kill. Star Knight on Johanna now in trouble, running for his life. I don't think they're going to get him. Now with these death timers so slow, Clouded Minds has time to actually go back, fill up everybody, and still come back and contest a 5-on-5. Chromie's going to be back in 2 seconds. What I started to say, excuse me, is so much of what Chromie, of this game is going to be how much value Chromie gets. Chromie is a nice soft counter to the Stukov. You can actually kind of sit on your cooldowns a little bit, and you can wait for that Stukov to go into his zoning. It has a lot of damage on the Ragnaros, and a triple stun from the Anubarak. If you wait for Stukov to be stationary, you can hit all of your spells as Chromie onto him and really put a lot of pressure on the Stukov player. So I'd like to see if we see Swing try to take advantage of that. Anubarak does go down. 2 unanswered kills once again by Team Mapitas. They have secured the first Punisher. Typically, first Punisher, not Punisher, the first Triglav Protector, you will see take down mid-wall and then rotate up to the top lane and try to get Fountain. First objective is always mid. Second, that's exactly what they're doing. Really nice plays here by Team Mapitas. First objective always mid. Tigerfish pretty far forward. He is in a rough spot. If ETC comes down here, he might be in trouble. However, they really stay focused on that siege, and Phoenix able to slink away. First objective always mid, second objective always top, third objective always bottom, and then lather, rinse, repeat. That's how this map is. So they did exactly what they needed to do. They got the front wall mid, they got the fountain top, and now they're on the verge of level 10 as well. Tyrael in flanking position does dive in, tank the fort, retreat. Nope, they were just waiting for the minions. So 10s once again first for Mapitas. We have Cursed Bullet for Greymane. Stage dive for ETC. I believe that's Massive Shove. Yes, it is for Stukov. Sulfurous Smash for Ragnaros. Now there's a nice burrow charge to safety by the Great Hari. And our Tyrael player, Nima, being a little bit cheeky. Now they do have a Lucio, which means no cleanse. That does make Judgment a little bit more possible, but I was going to say, he does pick the Sanctification. On the battle, on the objectives on Volskaya Foundry, I think you're just going to get way too much value out of Sanctification to go with Judgment, unless you're like building around a Judgment comp. Every once in a blue moon, you'll see a team build out these isolation comps where they use Judgment just to single out one member of the enemy team and blow them up to start a fight. Sanctification 100% the right call though. And then you can have ETC off in a lane side soaking and jump into the objective if need be. So Team Mapitas in a great spot. They do have a slight structural lead, about a level and a half or so. Lead in XP, 2 unanswered kills. Heroics now on board for Clouded Minds. Big damage onto Holomion's Greymane from Chromie. And then there is the isolation onto the Tyrael, and Purification Salvo going out, but gets interrupted. The Purification Salvo does not proc. Tyrael now out of the cocoon, and I think Clouded Mind needs to back up here. They kind of blew some of their resources, and you want to wait for those objectives to come back online. So Heroics for Clouded Minds, Purification Salvo for Phoenix. We saw the cocoon onto Anubarak, slowing sands for Chromie, shield barrier for Lucio, and blessed shield for Johanna. So this is a 5-on-4. Mapitas is just kind of hanging around. They're keeping Clouded Minds here. However, ETC may be in trouble. There's the Sanctification on top of the silence leading to a noob's death. ETC actually just sneaked outside of that Sanctification there and ate a lot of damage from Chromie. So in addition to picking up the Anubarak, they have Ragnaros split pushing bottom and Mercs pushing top. This has given them an even stronger level lead. 2 levels, 3 unanswered kills, and I love this call by Team Mapitas. Take the invade, go grab even more turrets. Are they going to rotate down and take a free fort? They just might. Surprising though, the healing totem on Volskaya is so powerful, and neither team has even sniffed it out. That, of course, in the top lane, in the top half of the map, between top lane and mid lane, and Team Mapitas, they are just kind of taking what they want. They rotated bottom, took bottom fort without any resistance. Now a full 3-level lead for Team Mapitas. This would be, at least going into this week, I'm not sure if at the time, but this would be Team Mapitas' first domination of the season if they took it 2-0, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. So certainly a big win, or possible win for them. So there's the cocoon onto the Stukov. That's a great target. All the tanks moving forward. They do burn him out. Purification salvo goes out and hits the targets there. However, the Sanct and the Sulfurous Smash go out, and what initially looked like a solid engagement from Clouded Minds has ended with the Nubarak's death and a full retreat. Johanna in trouble, going down. Tigerfish in trouble as well, does reach the safety of the top fort. And Clouded Minds here cannot seem to get their legs underneath them. They have shown like moments, flashes where you see like something can happen and it would go their way, but never able to just completely get the momentum going in their favor. Both first map and map 2 here have really been controlled by Team Mapitas. Top structure falling. Great job by Mapitas. Full 3-level lead. All of the forts for Clouded Minds have fallen. And now the Stukov completely isolating out Phoenix. He is able to kind of spider crawl away though. I think you kind of have to concede this. Nope. They no retreat in their mind. Anubarak takes a little trip. And 97%, 98%. Johanna does get on there just in the nick of time, despite the holy ground by Tyrael. However, this time it is going to be Team Mapitas that is in trouble. Stukov isolated out one more time, no healer. And Clouded Minds, this is one of those moments that I mentioned, finally showing signs of life. Not only do they drive Team Mapitas off the points, they're going to get at least 1 kill. And I think that's going to be the end. Molten Core is popped. The interrupt on to ETC. It looked like he was going to go into a stage dive. But the Lucio booped him out. Johanna may be in trouble. A great boop once again by Venus on Lucio. However, Greymane does get Phoenix on the backside. They finally got a little teamfight win. Stage dive hits 2, but now ETC right in the middle of all 4 members, and now we have another 4-on-4. Sulfurous Smash goes down and absolutely obliterates Johanna, leaving her with like 53 hit points before she gets wrapped up. Clouded Minds does not want to give this up. Greymane does get swing. Team Mapitas does secure the Volskaya, or Triglav Protector, and Clouded Minds once again in retreat. Excuse me. That whole sequence was exactly what I had been saying. Clouded Minds has these moments where it looks like they're finally going to make a little push in the right direction. They got an unanswered kill. They were able to get a 5-on-4. They just got just a little bit too greedy, chasing Team Mapitas under their own fort, and they lost a member and allowed Mapitas to re-engage with a 4-on-4. And that I think cost them the Triglav. Nice holy ground by Tyrael. Star Knight isolated out. Nubarak goes down on the backside to ETC. Assassin Anonymous ETC here. This top keep is certainly going down. If you're a Team Mapitas here, you have to be thinking core at this point, or second keep. They still have 20 seconds on this thing. They still have Sanctification. They still have a man advantage for another 10 seconds or so. Swing does get isolated out, uses the timeout, but unable to get away. Greymane securing the kill. Almost a cheeky escape there for Swing on Chromie, but not quite. Tigerfish gets silenced and taken out. That wasn't a big overstep, but it was just enough. And excellent execution of the kill by Team Mapitas. Now they are thinking keep wall at minimum. I believe Molten Core is still up. Anubrak does get caught. He has his burrow charge to get away. I will say Clouded Minds has retreat not in their vocabulary. They continue to fight tooth and nail, not willing to concede basically anything. And a lot of these fights would be going much different if they just weren't so far down in level. Team Mapitas once again moving from lane to lane to lane, just laying siege to all of these structures. Here goes the 5-on-5. The Cocoon out on a Stukov again. The Sank to hold this team fight. Ragnaros does pop Molten Core. There's the big stun, hits 2. Weenus in trouble. Sulfurous Smash misses him. Stukov does not. Stukov securing the final damage onto Lucio. And Phoenix going down as well. Game 2, much like Game 1 so far, all Team Mapitas. Nubrak being forced to actually go to the top lane. Catapults were able to slowly chunk down their shields, so 4% core damage was taken. However, ETC might have stayed a little too long. Only 3 members up. I think they're going to keep up due to the slowing sands. Great zoning there by Swing on the Chromie. 4 seconds till Phoenix is up, and all members of Clouded Minds will be here to deter. Cocoon again onto the Stukov. This time there will be no Sanctification, as that is still on cooldown. Phoenix is here now. If they manage to get 16 from Trickle XP, you have to take this fight if you're Clouded Minds. You have one very small window, which is right now for about the next 20 seconds before Team Mapitas hits 20. Instead, Team Mapitas is going to take this top siege camp, while Clouded Minds is forced to maintain defense against the top lane catapults. Team Mapitas really showing a lot of patience. They just move around the map. They're securing the turrets, the mercs, the healing totems, all of the above. 8 seconds until the third objective of the game spawns. I don't think there is an opportunity here for Clouded Minds to wait for 20. There's just too much pressure on the map. There would be too much pressure on the map. Very rarely do I advocate taking a engagement down a talent tier, but I just don't think it's going to get any better at this point. If you think that they're on the mercs right now, maybe you try to take this with all 5 members and catch them a man down. And they do. Team Mapitas showing nice patience, and Weenus a little bit early on the shield barrier, not going to get much value out of it. Tyrael very low though, does pop the Sanct, and the healing totem still available. Now Greymane will be out. Purification salvo goes out. Little poke damage, not nearly as much value as you'd like. And if you're Clouded Minds, you need to do this quick, because that top lane is going to start putting a lot of pressure on your core here. Great patience by Team Mapitas. They really do have time on their side. They don't need to take this fight if they don't want to. However, Anubrak in trouble once more time. A little bit of anti-synergy there. ETC actually face melted Anubrak out of the Sulfurous Smash. In the end, it does not matter. If you're Team Mapitas right now and you see this top lane, actually all you're trying to do is keep Clouded Minds here. Don't let them hearth back, and I cannot see this not being game. It is looking like this is going to be a 2-0 domination in favor of Mapitas, and in a very commanding fashion. They are finally starting to move up toward the core. Katas are taking down the core. I don't know if this is really necessary. If I'm Mapitas, you just blow through this mid keep here and go straight to core. Yeah, I mean, the minion wave is already there to tank it. This is all kind of lost opportunity right here. Also, you can use this turret to tank the keeps right now, so you don't have to. If Halamion puts the turret down, the turret will tank the keep, not your teammates. So 17 kills to 1. A very decisive, barring an absolute miracle, a very decisive win for Team Mapitas. Clouded Minds is scattered right now. There's, I mean, just desperation time for them. That's a pretty good shield barrier, however, I don't think it's going to matter. Anubrat goes down on the backside. The Triglav Protector, and a level 21, minute 20 Triglav Protector is going to crush this core really fast. So this is certainly going to be game. We're going to pause it right there so we can take a look at the stat screen. So game 2, decisive win as well for Team Mapitas. They take the series 2-0. Of course, 2 games set for Nexus, and both games were very commanding. I think they were closer than they looked when you just kind of look at the optics of 19 kills to 1. The first game had kind of similar numbers. I think the optics were a little bit closer than those numbers would indicate, but Clouded Minds, just whenever they had their moments, they were never really able to capitalize on them. They had a team fight in the first game where Gul'dan damage over time was a triple kill after they'd already secured 2 kills. So they had a couple of little instances where you feel like maybe they'll get back in the game, but just never could quite do it. And Team Mapitas ends up taking the set in a solid 2-0. And that's pretty important in the standings from what I guessed. Actually, you know what we'll do, since now I can do it, is let's see where these two teams are in the standings. I believe they're going to be pretty close in the standings, so a 2-0 win like that would be big time for Team Mapitas. Yeah, they are right next to each other in the standings. And not only are they right next to each other in the standings, Team Mapitas in 8th place, Clouded Minds in 9th place. So they're right on the border for that last playoff spot. So this decisive 2-0 win for Team Mapitas could actually end up being the difference between making the playoffs and not making the playoffs. So congratulations to them for taking the victory over Clouded Minds. Thanks, guys, for hanging out for a replay cast, my first replay cast. My team will be playing tonight. Come support us. First Pick Nova, Division B West, playing at 7 o'clock. We will be casted by, who's casting us? Bahamut Gaming. He's excellent. 7 o'clock. Then we also have a game tomorrow night. Casted by Jason, who's also excellent at 7:30. And then I'm casting a doubleheader on Thursday, 7 o'clock. Come hang out. Thanks for hanging out here. Congratulations once again to Team Mapitas. We'll see you guys in the Nexus. Have a nice day.